Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we are going to start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're going to take a look at a Blades of Khorne force and how we can start this force with just 3 box sets. Now, the box sets we're going to look at are actually going to be a couple of the 40k box sets, but they do entirely work with a Blades of Khorne force in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. This is the Chaos Demons Boarding Patrol, the Chaos Demons Combat Patrol, and we'll also add a Skullmaster Herald of Khorne, the Herald of Khorne mounted atop a Juggernaut, to round out the list at the end of the video. We'll go through all of these box sets in turn, taking a look at all the different units that come inside them and talk a little bit about them before we have a look at that sample armor list, which will be 1,500 points, slightly bigger than we normally do because you get a pretty decent force out of these box sets in it, which is pretty awesome. So, with all of that said, to start with, we have the Chaos Demons Boarding Patrol box set. Now, this boarding patrol is led by a named character model known as Khorne. Khorne is the fleshhound character you can see at the front of the picture here with the 3 heads on the dog. Now, 7 wounds, 4+ save. His Gore Slit Claws going to give him 4 attacks, 3 4s, no rend damage 1, but his 3 Savage Maws have 6 attacks, 4s and 3s, rend 1, damage D3. His big thing is he has got the Call of the Hunt, where if this unit's included on Blades of Khorne army, friendly summon Fleshhound units can be set up within 9 inch of enemy units, so long as they're set up within 8 inch of this unit. And also, after deployment, but before the first round begins, you pick an enemy hero on the battlefield to be this unit's quarry, and if this unit is more than 9 inch away from all enemy units, it can make a normal move in your enemy's movement phase, but it must move towards the quarry. You add 2 to the charge rolls for this unit, and it can attempt to unbind and spell in the same manner as a wizard in your enemy's hero phase as well, and if it successfully does that, your opponent's wizard will suffer D3 mortal wounds. Now, joining Khorne, we have his Fleshhounds. Fleshhounds have the Collar of Khorne, similar to Khorne, they just can unbind a spell as if they were a wizard, they just don't get the extra mortal wounds like Khorne does, but they also do add 2 to their charge rolls. This is really cool, meaning with Khorne ability, if you are summoning them to the table, they will have a 6 inch charge on the turn if they're near Khorne. 2 wounds each, 5 up save, and they've got 4 attacks each in there with 3s and 4s, no rend damage 1. And you've also got a Burning Roar on the unit champion, which is 1 attack, 2 4, no rend damage 1, which is pretty cool as well. Lastly, in this box set, we have 10 Bloodletters. Bloodletters are a really fun unit. So you've got the Decapitating Blow ability from a modified hit roll for an attack made with a Hellblade is a 6. The attack will cause a mortal wound and the attack sequence ends. They've got 2 attacks, 3s and 3s, rend 1, damage 1 on them standard. So a nice, decent attack profile there with the ability to do some mortal wounds. They're also 2 wounds each on a 5 up save, making them a pretty survivable unit as well. And so, moving on to our second box set, the Chaos Demons Combat Patrol box set. Now, we do have a couple of repeating units. In here, we have another 10 Fleshhounds. We also have another 20 Bloodletters. This gives us an incredible amount of battle line option for the army, as the Fleshhounds and Bloodletters are both pure battle line unit. The Blood Crushers that are in the box set, and we'll talk about them in just a sec, can also be battle line depending on who we make our Warlord. Now, the Bloodmaster Herald of Khorne is really fun. This is a priest, so can bring all the benefits of that. Able access to the Blades of Khorne Prayer Law, which is pretty decent. Priests are also, generally just a little bit better than wizards. They can't be dispelled, they can't be denied, but they do, roll on 1d6, and they can do wounds themselves. There's a higher chance they fail and do wounds themselves based on that 1d6 roll. But the Bloodmaster does have a Decapitating Blow as well to do 2 mortal wounds instead of the 1 that the regular Bloodletters would do. 4 attacks, 3 3s, rend 1, damage 2 is a nice solid combat profile, especially for a priest. 6 wounds and a 4 up save there as well. You've also got the Blood Must Flow, where in the combat phase you can pick this unit to fight for the first time, then you can pick a friendly blood unit that's wholly within 16 inch that's not yet fought, and that unit can immediately fight after or before the Bloodmaster as well. Lastly, you've got Bloodmark, which is this unit's specific prayer on its War Scroll. Answer value of 3 and a range of 16. You pick an enemy unit until the start of your next hero phase. You add 1 to wound rolls for Blades of Khorne demon units that target said enemy units. The last unit we have inside this box set are the Blood Crushers. Blood Crushers are effectively bloodletters mounted on Juggernauts of Khorne. They're going to have decapitating blow like their unmounted counterparts, but murderous charge as well will allow them to do mortal wounds based on a d6 roll. You roll a dice for each model in the unit that charges an enemy unit, and for each 2 to 4, the unit would suffer a mortal wound. On a 5+, though, they suffer 2 mortals, which is really nice. What's also cool about Blood Crushers is 5 wounds on a base 3+ save is really solid. And so lastly, we have the Skullmaster Herald of Khorne. This is just a single model box set, but it does perfectly round us out to a nice 1500 point army list. Now, this model isn't a priest like its unmounted counterpart, but it does have 7 wounds, 3 up saves, so a pretty solidly survivable hero. It's going to have decapitating blow for the 2 mortal wounds like its unmounted counterpart. Slaughterous charge will allow you on a 2+ to do 3 mortal wounds when it charges. And then Herald of the Blood Thunder Stampede. Once per battle at the start of the charge phase, you can declare that you will do this ability. And until the end of the phase, you can reroll charge rolls for all friendly Blood Crush units wholly within 16 inches of this unit. So you can get some free reroll charges, which is pretty fun for the unit. All in all, a nice and solid third hero option for your army. Just giving you another power piece as well, as this thing can put out a decent amount of damage. And so here we have our sample army list for the Blades of Khorne. Now we've gone for the Bloodlord sub-faction. This is just the best way to go. When you've got a ton of bloodletters on the table, what this does is triggers your mortal wound ability on a 5+ rather than 6+. So there's going to be a ton of mortal wounds being kicked out from this force. Now, grand strategy, we've gone for take what's theirs. This is just a good one for an aggressive army. More units in our opponent's territory than them at the end of the game. We're going to be playing offensive, so it makes sense to be using. And then Bloodmaster Herald of Khorne, who is going to be our general. Now, we've gone with the command trait embodiment of Wrath here. What this does is allows us to return models to our bloodletter units wholly within 16 inch. And the Prayer Killer Instinct will allow us to make some moves around the table as well out of phase. A really powerful prayer. Aspect of the Champion for leadership of the Alpha, for even some more rallying or some all-out attacks or all-out defenses where needed. A Skullmaster Herald of Khorne with the artifact Argrath, the King of Blades, is a really fun addition as well. Enemy units within 3 inches of this model can't use ward saves, which is just super powerful with the amount of mortal wounds we can kick out. And then Karanak rounding out our leaders. For battle line, we have chosen to put the Flesh Hounds into units of 10. Normally, I would like units of 5, but I think in this case, we're trying to fit into a battle regiment to make a 1-drop aggressive force here. So 2 units of 10, and the Bloodletters on the same, not 3 units of 10, 1 unit of 20, 1 unit of 10, and then 3 Blood Crushers, giving us 5 units, 3 characters, a perfect fit into a battle regiment force for 1,500 points, and a lot of wounds on the table at 1,500 points. If you've got some ideas on how to combine these box sets, some different combinations on the characters, or indeed something different you'd bring in other than the Skullmaster for that last 130, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And so that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fantastic little community here, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. If you would like to, you can do so either by YouTube members or Patreon, or by grabbing yourself some merch at Teespring or at our Ko-fi store. All of them are linked down in the video's description. As a special thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallers, Redman, Iron Grinch, Nicholas Colomos, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members, Green Rich Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny 84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weird, James Tillman, Gargamel196, and Disco. Lastly, a special thanks first of all to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing art for the channel, everyone who helps come and provide the games for everyone to watch on the channel as well, and indeed all our fantastic mods and members of the community who keep our Discord and comment section a fantastic place for all to be. Thank you all once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.